Yo, what is good, YouTube? What's up, PlayStation Nation? Jay Barry here, and I'm back with another video. Here to talk about PlayStation once again, but not in the greatest light. Man, it's so much to unpack here. Just my overall thoughts with everything that's going on. But if you guys haven't been living on the rock, PlayStation, Jim Ryan, he woke everybody up at 3 a.m. in the morning Eastern time here and revealed that, you know, PlayStation 5 will be getting a price hike in certain regions due to high inflation rates. So regions like Asia, Pacific, Middle East, Africa, Europe, Latin America is all getting like a $20 to like $50 price hike for PlayStation 5 consoles. And yeah, you know, they gave their reasonings why, you know, there's a price hike happening for these regions due to the fact of inflation. You know, inflation had been affecting pretty much everyone, you know, with COVID, and you know, you had COVID on top of that. You had a whole bunch, you know, this all issues around in the world and whatnot. You know, why they increasing their price. But I have an issue with this, man. I have a big issue with what PlayStation is doing and how they present the information, how they announce it. I have a really big issue with it because, in my opinion, it feels like they're very tone deaf to a lot of things. And if you guys been listening to Whoops, if you guys been listening to the channel and the videos I've been making, I've been when the PS5 started, I always felt like, I feel like PlayStation is like they turn in like a cold shoulder to gamers or something like that. And hear me out what I mean by that. A lot of things that we as PlayStation fans or gamers have had in the past are diminishing. They're simply taking them away. But with the PS5 generation, all those things that, you know, we you know, loved from PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, all that stuff we loved, it's being taken away, but there's more things being added as far as we got to pay more. You know what I mean? If it's not the game prices, we got to pay more for that. Now for consoles in certain regions, we got to pay more for that. I feel like the gamer itself is just being punished more because so much is being taken away, but they're asking us for so much. And that's my biggest issue right now with PlayStation. Obviously the marketing as well. I think the marketing and how they present things, it needs to be a little bit more, it got to be executed better. You know, putting out a blog article here 3 a.m. in the morning is not the best way to do something like that. You know what I mean? And I understand that, you know, they're probably running on a different time zone and all that stuff, and they you know, present that information in a different time zone, but it's just still it doesn't look right. You know what I mean? Everybody got to wake up to this type of information, or people's at work listening to this information. I feel like stuff like this just got to be presented at a little better time. That's a little bit more transparent as well. When it comes to just announcing something this fast, because a lot of these price hikes or these price increases are effective immediately. You know what I mean? Like this should be something that you should have presented like a month ago to gear people up. You know what I mean? To, you know, you put out an article like this, like, yo guys, started next month or whenever, we're going to be increasing the price for PlayStation 5 consoles in these specific regions. And then when the time comes, you know, you put out another blog article. That's how you present things to people. Not just this one blog article. Say, hey, effective immediately. Go get your PS5. Because I feel like, yo, we're getting charged more for everything, but PlayStation is offering less. and in the present day of how a lot of people are viewing PlayStation, it's like we don't know much what's happening when it comes to PlayStation 5 games. You're putting your hand in different pots when it comes to PC and movies and everything else. But the PlayStation fan, the people that love your games, we're in the dark when it comes to your games. But everything outside of PlayStation, we know. And then when we want to get into the PlayStation, or people trying to get into the PlayStation console ecosystem or whatnot, they got to pay more in specific regions. The timing is off with a lot of these announcements. It's presented in a bad way, and just overall, I feel like PlayStation's just been a little bit too quiet. It's like I feel like there's a big disconnect here between the fan base, just gamers. Like it's like a cold shoulder. You know what I mean? There's certain cockiness, certain arrogance is going on over there for sure, in my personal opinion, because things wasn't like this. You know, we had just experienced the PlayStation 4 generation where information was prompted properly. You know what I mean? Marketing was done properly. Announcements was done properly. You know, where people were praising PlayStation for the marketing. Now it was just like a mishap. You know, mishap after mishap, then correction, then mishap, correction. Oh, price hike. Start today, 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning. It's just like, yo, I feel like they're losing touch with the fan base, and I've been saying this for a long time because, look, we're not getting things like PlayStation Experience. They're not showing up at these big events, but yet it's just like, yo, everything is just like, hey, we ain't gonna be at these things. We don't need to communicate with you guys. We don't need to go on your podcast. We don't need to do nothing. But you're gonna pay more for this. We're gonna charge more for this, and it's not gonna affect your region. But still, 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's put this article out. It's like, yo, PlayStation, what are you doing? What are you doing? You are giving an alley-oop to your competitors. You know what I mean? Because one thing that Microsoft is doing well is that they are tugging on the heartstring of gamers. For some strange reason, gamers have this emotional connection to Microsoft and Xbox, where they would stick with that regardless if they ain't get no games for a year. They will stick with that console because they are communicating with the fans. They are acknowledging what fans are saying and things like that. Yeah, PlayStation, they're delivering on games as far as, you know, what we playing on PlayStation 5 and 4. But it's just certain things that I missed that PlayStation used to do that they're not doing now, but still we're paying more for, you know what I mean? It's just like, yo, you're taking all this stuff away, but we're still paying more for a lot of things. And I know personally that this price hike or this price increase didn't affect us here in the US, but you never know. It could happen. You never know. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of strange that we don't see a price hike in the US. There's many speculations on why when it comes to competition and, you know, just the market. I don't think US market would take that stuff, but who's to say that the European or the Middle Eastern or the African market or the Chinese market or Latin American market would take this too? You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. And what I'm seeing from a lot of PlayStation fans is that everyone is so sympathetic to what the business is doing, or the business side of things. Like, yo, when have we become so sympathetic to what the business is doing and saying? You don't care about yourself, the gamer? You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things that I personally am not affected by, like $70 thing. I'm okay with the $70 thing, but at the end of the day, I still understand certain, concerns when it comes to that stuff, and people want to see, all right, what we getting for these $70. You know, I'm not out here advocating for $70 and because, oh, game prices are going up and this and that and game development. I understand those things when I'm speaking objectively. I understand those things, but I'm not gonna speak as for me, the gamer. Like, yeah, I'm happy with me paying $70 for a game. You know what I mean? I'm paying $70 because I want that quality content, But at the end of the day, it's just not, I'm not advocating for it. And I feel like a lot of people are very sympathetic to what these companies are doing, especially like PlayStation. They're like, we understand charge. I'm just like, what is going on here, man? What is going on here? Like this is not presented well. You know what I mean? This is not a good look for PlayStation overall. In my personal opinion, like this is just not a good look. You don't just announce things so quick like this, especially in the time of day like this. This is telling me that you're trying to avoid backlash and feedback, which you're not gonna do. You can't, but you're still trying to avoid that initial backlog. I mean that the initial backfire or feedback and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I think PlayStation, I don't know what it is, but they really need to get a reality check as far as how, the fan base is looking at them. You know what I mean? Because me personally, as a PlayStation fan, I love the brand PlayStation, but a lot of the moves, a lot of things that I'm seeing is like, yo, I don't think that the PlayStation fan is the priority anymore. Who are they trying to target and who are they trying to get? I'm not in that room. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I'm shoved out the room and I got the door closed on me sometimes when I look at what PlayStation is doing and how they're viewing things or how they're saying things and how they're doing things. But I don't know, man. Like I'm not in agreement with this whole price hike thing. I've seen the weirdest takes as well, where people are using these extreme scenarios as far as people are poor and they're struggling to put food on their table, and how they're gonna get a PlayStation. What if they're struggling to put food on the table and take care of their family? It's like, yo, gaming should be your your least of your concerns right there in those type of situations. Like, why are you worrying about buying a PlayStation or any games? And I understand that, yo, I was poor, I'm poor, I was poor or whatnot. I understand playing the game and escaping reality, but in the times when I was struggling, especially as an adult, I'm not thinking about gaming. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about getting my ends meet. I'm thinking about paying my bills, But I don't know why people like to use these extreme takes. There's a lot of gaming politics and politicians that's going around here, spreading these things where they're trying to push an agenda and speak for certain people that, they're not even represented. You know what I mean? These are the worst politicians ever in this world, and it's just like they like to speak for everyone. But I don't know, man. I think PlayStation needs to get their act together. I don't like how tone deaf they have become. I don't like how they talk to fans when it comes to certain announcements. I don't like certain things how it's been presented. I don't like the fact that they're not at these events. You know what I mean? It's like as the year go by, we're seeing less of them. I'm hearing less from them, but we're getting charged more. It's just a weird look. And yes, once again, this doesn't personally affect me, but I feel like something like this has to be spoken about, because you never know. Something like this, if it's accepted here in other regions, the US, they might try to do this stuff, and what we're gonna do then? We're gonna be sympathetic to what PlayStation is doing then? Again, I don't know, man. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, man. I'm just conflicted with a lot of my thoughts when it comes to PlayStation right now. Not the happiest of fan, but I still love the brand, still love their games. Hopefully they do announce something soon. Hopefully we have a showcase to put a lot of those worries aside and whatnot. For anybody that is trying to get a PlayStation 5 and these price hikes and all that stuff is affecting you, sorry about that, but that's just the way it is. But yeah, it's your boy Jay Barry, man. I'm gone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Deuces.